Yo, what up? You can just put me in the background, you don't have to actually watch the video. As I said in my previous video, I want to make stuff that I'm very interested in. I don't want to follow trends or like do something that is real-less. And what better subject to talk about than my favorite shows, animes, whatever. Right now, I just finished season 3 of Dr. Stone and their season 4. I found it on some site that I used to use, but the audio is very bad and I will probably find a way to circumvent that. If any of y'all haven't watched Dr. Stone is about, it's an anime about every single person gets petrified. They become stone, kind of like Medusa. One of these like scientists just so happens to be in a cave which leaks, drips nitric acid, which is the element or the acid that makes them break out of the stone, out of the petrification. So he sits for 3,000 years just counting endlessly until he gets broken out of the statue form that he was in. And then he rebuilds societies, he teaches you how to make antibiotics, he teaches you how to make whatever, engines, how stuff works. And what I will say to you boys, if you have children, this is a wonderful anime to watch with them. I feel like this would be a wonderful experience to show your children because they get them interested in science. Even though there's a little bit of violence, but I feel like it's not something that is so outrageous to where, oh, I'm not gonna show this to my 10-year-old or something like that. Or there is fighting, don't get me wrong, there is fighting and there is villains and stuff like that, but it's not to some extent that is gonna leave your children traumatized. I'm gonna be honest. For example, they learn how to make like antibiotics, like how something would be so debilitating, like I don't know, like pneumonia or the normal diseases, but overnight they get decimated by modern inventions such as penicillin, how they make engines, how they make like mine carts, how they make whatever, how they make ships, how they make a lot of stuff, how they rebuild society as a whole. And what I want to say is that this is gonna get children, and I really like this, and young teens interested in science, because it's sort of more serious in the beginning. I feel like in the first season I remember it as being more serious, but now that I watched like the later seasons, it's very childish, and I feel like it's intended. It's as intended, because like I look at some of these and I say, how are they making the intricate like things on the engine? How are they doing that? They don't have molds or like stuff like that to basically like and sandpaper and like diamond whetstones and stuff like that. They don't have that. You have to suspend disbelief for a lot of this stuff, but it's realistic in some way where the process is accurate. Some of the processes are very accurate, and it would incite a lot of good things in young people. I feel like it's one of those animes that I feel like even old people would approve of. You know, it's like those grandmas or like Karens that go, oh yeah, Call of Duty is making our children violent, World of Warcraft, Fortnite, it's making our children violent. Even those Karens would agree with the premises and this anime. I would 100% recommend you to watch it with your children, your cousin, your little brother, whatever. Somebody that is younger, that's the word that I was looking for. I'm gonna get into some stuff, and what I want to say is that later in the season, and once they uncover what this petrification stuff is, and they like go deeper and deeper into it, I feel like it goes into sci-fi. I feel like it goes like Dr. Stone had this like, and of course like petrification beam, like that's not like something plausible, that's not something realistic. Maybe the author is way more intelligent than me and they know some like processes which could make you like, but I doubt it honestly. It's a lot of sci-fi with this stuff. I feel like I would much prefer this like natural phenomenon, like a star just like randomly toss some like waves and like, you know, some bullshit to just make some stuff up, and that's how like humans were like petrified and now they're like rebuilding society. I wish they wouldn't go into the direction of let's find out what made us petrified. Also, there is a lot of stuff that if I was Senku, I would do. For example, later they learn that the petrification sometimes happens again in smaller scales. What I want to say is, when Senku finds out this information, why doesn't he immediately make contingency plans against this? Like for example, a drip stone, that a single villager would stay in it every single day, like they would like cycle who sleeps in that bed, which would have a timer every 10 hours, like gears, kind of like kind of like a clock. They could 100% do that because they made like a timer in the series. I'm not gonna spoil it, but they do. It is possible for them to make a timer. And what I want to say is, why don't they do this to where, oh, if you do not wake up and you reset this timer, if you get petrified while you're sleeping, you will get woken up. And somebody has to stay there 24/7. If I was Senku, which Senku canonically is 10 times more intelligent than me, I refuse to believe that he didn't figure this out. He didn't figure this out. I was about to say, oh my god, bro. I like watched one of my old videos and I accidentally said, instead of figure out, I said finger out. It was so funny, bro. But I cannot suspend disbelief whenever he doesn't figure something out that I immediately think, you know? Maybe I'm just that, like, you know, I'm big celebrity guy, big like everybody's talking about me, big celebrity. I made $5, bro, big celebrity guy. Ladies, stay away. Like, you know, whenever I make love, I have to check the condoms. I'm that much of a celeb. I'm like Drake, bro. You know, it's maybe I'm just that intelligent, you know, and maybe I thought of something that Senku didn't think of. But the show is incredible. I 100% recommend it. I don't like ratings, but if I were to give it a rating, it would be an 8 out of 10. Now, to give you like proxies or like references to what I find as like higher tier like anime series, I'd give Breaking Bad a 10 out of 10, I'd give Game of Thrones a 10 out of 10, I'd give Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I'd give a 9.5 out of 10, Code Geass 9.5 out of 10. Attack on Titan, in my own opinion, many people dislike it because it's the popular thing, but in my own opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. Arcane the same, 10 out of 10. Or no, 9.5 for Arcane. I feel like some stuff, it's like some season 2 is very good, but some stuff could be way better off. Wow, what a wonderful series. It's like, I'm gonna be honest, boys. I've low-key stopped watching anime. I don't really watch anime anymore because I just don't care. There's not like, I watched Dandadan and I watched the one on Netflix with Gabimaru the Hollow. I forgot what it's called, bro. Hell Paradise. But other than that, like these top tiers, you know, that, okay, this is a must-watch. Of course you're gonna watch this because it's a must-watch, you know? But other than those top tier like anime, I haven't watched anything lately. But I'm gonna be honest, Dr. Stone was incredible for me to revisit, and I urge you to either watch the anime or pick it back up if you forgot it. Now I want to get into like 1 more minute and I'm gonna end the video. Like, whenever I was a kid, I could watch weekly animes, because I used to watch Dr. Stone weekly in season 3 until I got to like 4th or 5th episode, and I forgot it. I am a person, like, when I was a kid, when you watch like some like anime or some show or something that you're very like, I would watch Amazing Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man, I forgot what it's called, the cartoon. Every single week I couldn't wait to see that, right? But now I have so much stuff that is like pinnacles of my week, like top 10 experiences of the week, that the show just gets flushed out. And I really don't like the fact that it's like, oh, they try to suspend this, they try to make like suspense. They try to make like, oh, what is gonna happen? And what happens to me is, I'm like, oh my god, why would they do it right at the climax, you know, right as I'm buzzing all over the screen? And then the next day, oh my god, yeah, that was annoying. Then the next day after that, it's like, okay. And then I forget about it. And I completely like dismiss the show afterwards. This is what happened to me. I really don't like weekly releases. I know it's better for like retention. I watched Frieren weekly, for example, Frieren season 2, and Frieren season 1 I got like by the time that I got to like the later episodes, it already fully released, you know, so it didn't matter, but I did watch Frieren. Like Sandman released, for example, and Sandman I watched like 6 episodes released, I watched like 5, then the next day I watched like another one, and then I waited a week and then I watched it again, you know, like the other part 2, or like 2 weeks, I forgot. Even that was too much, but I feel like they try to keep like this suspense, this like, they try to keep you on the hook, but a lot of people, especially older people, as I've aged, they've started losing me. Because I just have multiple things to do, bro. Like, when you go out with your friend, you like read a book, you play some video games with your friends, you do whatever. You guys have like, you go to like the office, you talk to this like a colleague of yours, you go out, you drink, you like whatever. You forget about the weekly like releases, right? Of course you forget about it, because you have way more things on your head, you know? It is what it is. I wish it wasn't like this, but I know this is mostly a me problem and maybe some of y'all's problems. It's not a big problem, I just wish it were different. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I'm probably gonna make more videos like this, even if you don't let me know. Every time I say let me know about something, nobody says anything, so I'm just gonna make it anyway, because I really like to make these videos. I really like to yap about my my favorite topics. I'm very interested in this, and this is the entirely why I started this channel, because I want to talk about Path of Exile, for example. I don't have anybody to talk about Path of Exile. I don't have anybody to talk about Game of Thrones, for example. Why? Because I don't have friends that watch it, you know? I have friends, but not friends that watch it. I'm very diverse in the things that I like, and because of that, it's rare for me to find people that are like aligned. But on YouTube, it's very easy. Anyway, I've held you for too long. Take care of yourself. Have a nice day.